Hey everybody, it's Kellen Nitro for Nitro Maniac TV's wrestling channel. I figured I'd drop some New Japan Pro Wrestling Nitro's take on you unannounced. On March 25th, 2018, New Japan Pro Wrestling came over to the US and did another special on Access TV. This one was called Strong Style Evolved, and it emanated from the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California. And Walter Pyramid sounds like an old man's name. Mr. Walter Pyramid. Retired 40-year truck driver or something. Who knows? Six-man tag to open the show with Rocky Romero, Sho, and Yo together. They are known as Roppongi 3K, taking on SoCal Uncensored, yes, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. What a contest. Christopher Daniels actually was here the night before I recorded this Nitro's take here in Edmonton for a local card at the PWA. They had their anniversary show. By all accounts, it was really good. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend. Very great opener. Kind of shows you the reach of Christopher Daniels, too. He was booked in Canada on Saturday, ended up being booked on a New Japan show on Sunday. I guess the man's in great demand right now. Roppongi 3K getting the win. Nothing but up to see these guys. Also great to see Rocky Romero finally get a in-ring match. On one of these shows. I don't think he was involved in the G1 tournament last year in a match. He might have been. I'd have to go back and see. But there you go. Tag team action as Juice Robinson and David Finley come out victorious over top of Gato and Hiroki Goto. Juice and Finley are an amazing team. Wasn't the last that we heard of David Finley on the night. No siree. We'll talk about that a little later on. But man, David Finley, he's fun to watch in the ring. I do enjoy watching him, and the juice is loose in New Japan. What can I say? In a match that I thought was going to be a total squash job when it was announced, the Killer Elite Squad defeated Chucky T and Toru Yano. Now, here's the thing, is that Chucky T and Toru Yano is basically a comedy tag team. They put Chucky T with Toru Yano because Chucky T's usual partner, Beretta, is out injured right now. I think it's a knee injury of some sort. And they've paired these two together as kind of a comedic tag team thing. And I looked at this match and I thought, well, Killer Elite Squad's going to crush them. They're going to squash them. It actually was a very entertaining contest with a lot of comedic spots in it. They went full comedy. Who knew? Lance Archer is probably one of the best comedy wrestlers I've seen in the last little bit. At least he was during the night of this. I thought it was a great match from top to bottom. The Killer Elite Squad, I should say, is nothing to be jerked around with or messed with as a tag team. They are solid. Davey Boy Smith Jr., Lance Archer, and probably inevitable that they get an IWGP tag title run at the end of this all, because man, did they just show up and just crush in this match. But it was a good match. All four participants, fantastic stuff. The Bullet Club imploded in the next match as Cody and Marty Scurll took on the Gorillas of Destiny. So this was kind of a matchup between the OG Bullet Club members and Cody and Marty Scurll, who are kind of two of the newer Bullet Club members. Who is the leader of the Bullet Club / Bullet Club is Fine storyline that's going on right now in New Japan is arguably their biggest angle, and it's fun to watch. It's going to be unique to see because the blow-off isn't going to end on a New Japan show. It's going to end at the Supercard of Honor, by all accounts, it sounds like, between Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes when they have their one-on-one match. It's a very interesting deal, and the Being the Elite YouTube channel and series that's kind of behind the scenes behind this and doing storyline work on this is a must follow and a very fun and entertaining angle from all accounts on the New Japan stuff, the Ring of Honor stuff, and now the stuff that they're doing on YouTube too. Cody is making himself to be the monster egotistical heel in New Japan, so and was more of it in this match here. I don't know what shape they're going from here. If the original Bullet Club members are going to turn their back on Cody, Jim Ross, who did an excellent job, I thought, of commentating this entire card. Both him and Josh Barnett were really good. I prefer Callis and Kelly, but JR and Josh Barnett were there just for the Access TV deal, and it was a great storytelling match from front to back. Was probably my favorite match on the entire card, with the exception of the main event, was that one. LIJ versus Taguchi Japan in an 8-man tag team match. This match featured Tetsuya Naito, of course, on the LIJ side, and then you had Tanahashi on the Taguchi side as well. Then you had Dragon Lee and Himuro Takahashi renew a rivalry in there too. Bushi was there on the LIJ side, and Sonata as well, just looking more and more like I love Sonata's look. It looks like a rockabilly badass look from like the 60s a little bit, you know. It's Johnny Bravo with attitude almost. So your typical 8-man tag showcase match for what it was, a showcase card to showcase New Japan Pro Wrestling to a audience in the United States and around the world on Access TV. Well, whoever gets Access TV. I watched it on New Japan World, but by all accounts, from what I saw on Twitter, people who were watching it on Access TV were enjoying the Access TV, I guess, coverage of it. So, but a small critique on the commentating, but like I said earlier, I thought JR and Josh Barnett were fine with this one. You're not going to get Callis and Kelly because they're the New Japan World guys. And an event like this, you'll get JR and Josh Barnett because ultimately it's Mark Cuban's network, and that's Mark Cuban's guys for wrestling. So, in a matchup that was to be Rey Mysterio versus Jushin Thunder Liger, Mysterio had an injury, I think a torn bicep, a couple weeks ago. He came out and he addressed the crowd anyway tonight. So, hey, kudos to you, Ray, for showing up for your booking. The replacement actually wasn't really a replacement. It was Will Ospreay, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, going one-on-one with Jushin Thunder Liger. I didn't know this at the end, but now Ospreay, at the end of tonight, after beating Liger again, is 4-0 in competition against Liger. So, hey, kudos. Liger to move like he can at 53 years old is amazing. The man is ageless, but if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, you knew that already. What was interesting was afterwards, Ospreay was cutting a promo and challenged Mysterio to I guess it would be an IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match somewhere down the line once Mysterio gets healed up, and then was attacked from behind by Marty Scurll of the Bullet Club. Marty was involved in the multi-man match at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, and so he's a contender for that belt. So he laid waste to Ospreay. Rey Mysterio Jr. jumps the rail, tries to get involved, and he gets laid out for his troubles too, and then demasked from Marty Scurll's antics and that stuff. Like, Ray lost his mask, Marty walked around with the mask, and that's that. So I'm not sure if that's setting up either a multi-man match or maybe something where Best of the Super Juniors this year is going to have involvement from Rey Mysterio this time as well in that tournament. But we can only wait and see what's going on and kind of gather from intelligence, or from what we see from this angle, not intelligence, but from what we see from this angle, we will see probably some sort of maybe a multi-man match between Mysterio, Scurll, and Ospreay for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight belt. A very interesting situation, something to pay attention to as the summer rolls into existence for New Japan. Suzuki-gun of Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated the tag team of Kazuchika Okada and Tomomoto Ishii. seeing Suzuki and Ishii go head-to-head in the ring is awesome. Can I see more of that, please? That was great, and I think we will, because that's a potential Intercontinental title match for not only for IWGP, I guess, but for New Japan, the International Wrestling Grand Prix, Intercontinental title, of course. But coming up in a couple of weeks' time, it sounds like it's going to be Okada and Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, which will be very interesting. Kind of cool to see Sabre act as the heel here. It's kind of a role reversal. In all the matches I've seen him in the past, Sabre's been a face, so it's kind of interesting to see him as a heel, and he can be kind of the. It sounds like he's using Suzuki as a mentor. And Suzuki has taken Sabre Jr. under his wing a little bit. So he sees that Sabre Jr. is this young, talented shooter. And so now he's going to, I guess, teach him the ropes on how to be a more effective heel shooter, I guess. Very interesting. We'll see what happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put the belt on Zack Sabre Jr. for a few weeks, if not a couple of months, because the guy's been collecting belts all across the country, kind of more like an Austin Aries thing, where he's been collecting belts from all these different independent organizations around the world. It would be interesting to see. We'll definitely keep attention to that, but you heard it here first. I think that Zack Sabre Jr. will walk out of this match with Okada with the belt in a couple weeks' time, because I think there's a lot to be made from it. And maybe you blow it off with a teacher versus student thing between Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr., where Suzuki gets the belt later on. Fantasy booking here, but hey, it's an idea, right? We then had the semi-main event, the singles match for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. The champion Switchblade Jay White versus the challenger Hangman Adam Page. Those guys brought it. Was a great match. Awesome, very hard-hitting, typical strong style encounter with elements of North American sports entertainment as well in it. Enjoyed it top to bottom. Surprisingly not my match of the night selection, which we'll go to the main event obviously, but it was a very watchable U.S. title match. At the very end, after Jay White gets his hand raised in victory, we find out that the new contender who lays out Jay White at the very end of the match is one David Finley, his former tag team partner. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here, because I think these are two guys that are both on the Chaos faction side. So two guys that in Japan would be considered quote-unquote faces. And I think they said there's a match date already for like April 21st, I believe, for this. So if not, it's late April anyway. So we'll pay attention to it and see what happens later on down the line. And of course, the Bullet Club implosion, I think, reached nuclear levels tonight, with the Golden Lovers of Ibushi and Omega defeating the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, in an awesome 40-plus minute main event that had everything to it. This might go down as the tag team match of the year, for sure. Up until this point, it's going to be tough for it to be the out-and-out match of the year, just because we still have the majority of the year to go. It is only end of March right now as we record this, but if you're looking for a tag team match of the year, I think this one is probably going to be your top runner, because this match had everything, told a great story. Again, you feel now for everybody in the Bullet Club because of this, and it's like, guys, you just want to just drop Cody and you can get the band back together. But now you wonder, okay, has too much damage been done? That's the thing, right? So great match, my match of the night, loved it. Go back and check this out on New Japan World if you get it, or I think Access might probably replay it sometime too, if you're an Access TV subscriber as well. I will give Strong Style Evolved a solid 8 out of 10 tonight as my top to bottom rating. It ran long. It was about 4 hours plus, but was well worth it on a Sunday, and it kind of had the old Clash of the Champions feel to it. Like, you didn't have to really, if you were an Access TV subscriber, you didn't have to pay for it on pay-per-view or anything. It was for your cable package, and New Japan people got it as part of their subscription anyway. So a great little venture to North America, and they'll be back in North America in San Francisco on July 7th, it sounds like, at the venerable Cow Palace in San Francisco. So we can't wait to see what happens with that. Anyways, I'm Kellen Nitro. Later days, happy wrestling watching. That's just my first take on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Style Evolved event in 2018, late March, from the Walter Pyramid, Mr. Walter Pyramid, in Long Beach, California. Again, sounds like an old man. I have mail letters for Mr. Walter Pyramid. Is there a Mr. Walter Pyramid in the waiting room? Alright, later guys.